Hello, Sagittarius. How are you doing? Welcome to your love reading. All right, let's see what's going on with my beautiful Saggies here. Whoever you think is giving you that cold shoulder, just know that there's more going on beneath the surface of that cold shoulder, okay? Just know that, all right? Whoever it is that you think doesn't care, doesn't want to talk to you, doesn't want to communicate, please have patience, Spirit is saying. Have patience so the truth could be revealed. Have patience here. This person's trying to have patience also, right? This person is trying to figure out why this is so intense, why they feel so pulled and drawn to you. And, you know, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of emotions being triggered at this time. Okay, I feel like you are trying to figure out, why do I feel so energetically pulled towards this person? Why do I feel so affected by this person? Why is this person constantly on my mind, right? Seeing their name in places, all of a sudden thinking about them. They're thinking about you too. All right, we're going to go a little bit deeper. Let's see, what are we using today? Welcome everyone. And then we're going to get messages from this person too. So let's see what the current vibe is just overall here. So Spirit is asking for you to have patience with yourself. All right. Reflecting, and that's Mercury right there. That's the retrograde energy. So we're deeply reflecting. We're looking at what was said. We're replaying old messages. We're looking at pictures, right? I wouldn't doubt if this person is sitting back and just saying, how did we get here? How did we ultimately get here? How did we get to a place where there's just silence and we're sitting in silence here? So this is a lot of repressed desires, a lot of repressed desires here. And it's like, I'm praying in the darkness. I'm praying in my own space. I'm manifesting in my own world, and you don't know about it. And I don't feel like this is like the typical breakup or the typical separation. This is just a connection on pause vibration here. We're pausing. Okay. Curiosity. I'm watching. Trying to figure things out. I'm researching. I'm trying to collect information. I want to know what's on your mind. You want to know what's on my mind? I want to know what's on your mind as well. All right. So we're both trying to figure out what's going on. This person wants to know what you're thinking. Like, what are you going to do next? What are you going to ultimately find during your search, your quiet moment, your reflective moment here? Okay, someone here is very, very terrified that you may move on, right? They weren't the best candidate. They weren't acting right. They weren't acting right. And now they're curious, like, you know, what are you thinking? What are you doing? Who are you talking to? Okay, and I feel like for some of you, it's like, c'est la vie. I want to detox from this. I want to detox from this energy, from this energetic addiction. Some of you are at this space where you're like, I want to let this go, but I can't. And again, it may not be I want to let it go, like completely cut this person off. It could be more so like, I want to let go of the weight of this, the weight of this connection, the weight of this while I'm working, the weight of this while I'm trying to sleep, while I'm trying to put myself on a schedule. There's a weight here, you know? And that's one of the biggest things right now. And again, this is not a breakup. This is a pause here. Okay. And I feel like both of you could be missing each other deeply, but again, not saying anything. We're not talking. We're not saying anything, but we hear each other's tones through music, right? Through small signs, at least for now. That's what it is. Let's see what this person is feeling. There's a lot coming out here. I feel like this person is they're overwhelmed as well. They're trying to, you know, remain strong. Like, I'm trying to be really strong and distract myself. That's what I need to. They also, there's something about your strength. Did you put up some boundaries, or did you do something different? Because now this person's like, I'm not ready to face these boundaries that you have up right now. And I feel like, hold on. Let's get more with that. Ooh. See, that's the thing. Like, I want you. Boundaries and all that. It's like maybe you put up a boundary and it feels like it pushed them away, or it feels like it pushed them into like cold energy, but it didn't. If anything, this person is working on their maturity. Believe it. This person's working on their maturity, and they could be someone that's like terrified of the intensity, like they're terrified of you activating something within them. And that's more than likely what you did. You activated something divine within them, something that actually calls for action, something that actually calls for emotions, calls for forgiveness, right? This person may have issues with forgiving their parents, forgiving their father, forgiving their superior. And when you tried to give boundaries, they're like, hey, and you're like, this is love though. I'm putting up boundaries because you're acting out of, out of the realms of what this connection deserves. And now they're looking at it like, you know what? I need to do something. I need to figure something out. But again, they're not doing anything. If anything, this person's sitting at home or sitting wherever they are, and somewhat praying, like somewhat trying to manifest. Hopefully you'll come in. Hopefully you'll fix it. Hopefully the universe will do something organically. This person really wishes that there was like a button they could press and they would not be in this situation. And they're spiraling also. There's sexual energy here. There's, obsessive thoughts coming in. I mean, zero action though. I have to be honest with you. Zero actions here from this person. Also, for those that are interested in a more in-depth reading, like you want a video reading, you want a love reading, everything will be in the link in the comment section, okay? If you're wanting to know how to maneuver through this or just wanting more insight on this individual. But I will say that they're spiraling. That's what we're getting. That's what the vibe is. This person could be a fire sign or a water sign, but I get the intensity building up, which again makes me feel like this is not something that they're going to be able to just suppress entirely. But it all depends on what you do, and it all depends on how you approach this, because if you were to interrupt what they're processing and what they're learning and what they're growing into, that could restart the power dynamic and really put them in a place of feeling and accepting that they don't have to move and they don't have to do anything. So just be very careful with that energy, please. Okay, let's see how Sagittarius is feeling at this time. Ooh, you're in love. You're like, why though? Sagittarius, you're in love. You want everything with this person. You want it. You want them. Okay? And you're asking yourself like, why won't this person just speak up? You're thinking, you're processing things. Some of you feel like, this is over. This person's giving up. They're not. They're not giving up, but you don't want to continue a relationship that's also not going into the place that you want it to go into, right? We don't want this to be a rehab center. Like, whoa. Right? And when you start to create rehab centers, what it typically looks like is like I'm like catering to your lack of development, and I feel like Sagittarius, you may be stressed because you feel like, this person's not really showing up, and just be very careful with the stressful energy here, because it pushes you to do things or say things or act in ways that, when you finally come out of this, you're asking yourself, why did I even do that? So be very careful with regret, especially during this retrograde. You don't want to do or say things that are putting you in positions where, you have to start over with this person. Because remember what do they say? The impressions that you leave on people, most of the time people don't forget, right? It's like the minute they go cold or the minute they don't respect something, you fold. They'll always remember that, They'll always remember that. And the people that you're dating, look at this, Page of Swords, they're taking notes on your behavior. And your behavior is everything. Okay, your actions is everything. And for my Saggies right now, I feel like you're done. Seriously, I feel like Sagittarius is really done performing the emotional labor. Like, come on. Especially if you're connecting with like an Aries, Another fire sign, water sign here. Okay. And this person could have made you feel like, wow, I found my person. I really did. I really found my person. And now I'm realizing that my person needs, they need structure. They need some sort of structure. And the only way that I could give this person structure is for me to have structure within myself, emotional structure, and also emotional discipline. Okay. I feel like that's also something Sagittarius is, working on, emotional discipline and patience. Right. We're working on patience here. So coming in for the two of you, I feel like there is a reach out. There is a push and pull. There's nothing directly set in motion here from what I'm seeing. It could be a random message or a random nudge, or even somebody that's wanting to argue or wanting to push you away. Be very careful with that. This is all, again, your boundaries being tested. Boundaries being tested, your boundaries could be tested in so many different ways. Okay. You know your person, you know exactly how they're going to test you. But just be very careful not to respond to games. That's the vibe right now. Okay. This person may not be subconsciously doing it, right? They may not be actually knowing that they're doing it, but they're doing it to protect themselves. Okay. But I will say this is someone here that does not want to lose you, but that doesn't mean anything, right? Yes, you don't want to lose me, but okay, are you going to change, or are we doing this on like every other month? Okay. So that happens all the time. There's jobs that don't want to lose you, but they don't want to give you a raise. There's jobs that don't want to lose you, but they don't even really like you, right? Or they don't really respect your work. That happens all the time in the workplace, right? It's like only when they need you to come in is when they're being nice. And it's like, whoa, okay, right? So just be very careful. Messages come in all different ways, so pay attention. Let's get more. This person, I'm telling you, this person can't stop thinking about you. I don't know what you did, or oh, look at that. Boundaries. They feel like you're going to stop them in their tracks if they were to really open up. Like if they were to come to you and tell you how they feel like you would completely stop it here. This is someone here that's also hurting. We're both hurting. They know you're hurting, right? But God, they're obsessed. This person thinks about this so much that it's like, I just feel like, this person it's like we're both mirroring each other right now. We're both in a place of sadness right now. Okay. And I feel like in between where we have this gap here, someone here is trying to find a way to set boundaries. You personally, you're working on your emotions, you're working on your discipline, you're working on your boundaries. This person's actually working on, coming forward with truth, being more so balanced, being more so disciplined also, and being a person of their word, and also trying to cut off their past as well. This person still lingers in their past to some degree. Yeah. This person doesn't like people telling them what to do, but I don't feel like you're telling them what to do. You're showing them what to do. There's a difference. I will talk to you soon, everyone. I love you very, very dearly. Of course, hit the like button if this resonated, and everything will be in the comment section if you're interested. Have a good one. I write, and I don't write because I have to. I do it because I deserve to move through life with clarity and also power. So this is where I pour my emotions, I reset my energy, and I decide who I'm becoming with each page. And there's 77 pages with self-care, financial goals, soul desires. It's all inside. I made this journal for those who want to manifest from their heart. So yours is waiting below. Enjoy it. Enjoy every minute of this journal.